If you're ambitious but lazy, you're not a failure. You're just stuck in the middle. You want a big life, but your habits don't match your dreams. And that's okay, because awareness is the first step. Laziness isn't always about being unwilling. It's often about being overwhelmed. See the mountain and forget that it starts with one step. Here's the truth. You don't need to be on fire every day. You just need to move. Even if it's slow, even if it's ugly, your ambition is a gift. But it needs your help. Action doesn't come from motivation. It comes from systems. Start small. Be consistent. Progress will come, not with passion, but with discipline. You're not lazy. You're scared, distracted, maybe tired, but you are still capable. Start now, quietly, slowly, but start. There are two types of people in this world. The first type has goals, dreams, ambitions. They have a vision for their life, but they're paralyzed by the gap between where they are and where they want to be. And so they stay put. They get sucked into the quicksand of the present moment. Call them dreamers because that's all they do. They dream. They fantasize about what could be, should be, might be, would be. But it never happens. Their ambition is an unfulfilled promise. They're ambitious but lazy. Second type of person is the opposite. They don't have any grand dreams, no lofty goals. They just do the work. They show up. They put one foot in front of the other. They're not very ambitious, but they make progress anyway. Now here's the thing. If you're the first type of person, that's not a bad thing. Having ambition is a good thing. It means you have something to offer the world, but there's a catch. Ambition without action is like a car without gas. It's going nowhere. And I know this can be a painful realization. You look at where you are, and then you look at where you want to be, and you feel this pang of regret or shame. You think, why am I not further ahead? Why isn't my life more like his or hers? Well, here's the answer. It's not because you're lazy. It's because you're ambitious. You're stuck in the middle. You want a big life, but your habits don't match your dreams. And let me be clear. I'm not talking about those small habits that everyone talks about, like waking up early or drinking green tea. Those things are nice if they make you happy. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the habits that separate the dreamers from the doers, the haves from the have-nots. I'm talking about the habits of success. But before we talk about these habits, I want to address something that's been on my mind lately. Some people watch my videos and they say, this is all well and good, but how does this apply to someone like me? How can I make this work for my business, my career, my life? And the answer is simple. You have to learn how to apply these principles to your own life. You need to stop watching and start doing. Stop consuming content and start creating your own. Stop dreaming about success and start working for it. So here's the deal. I'm going to give you 5 habits that successful people use to get ahead. If you want to be successful, if you want to achieve your dreams, then you need to adopt these habits. But here's the catch. You won't find these habits on some self-help website or in some Instagram post. You have to earn them. You have to prove yourself. So here's what you're going to do. For each habit I share with you, I want you to go out and apply it to your own life. I want you to take action. And when you come back, we'll talk about it. We'll share our experiences, and we'll see how much progress we've made together. Here's the first habit. Successful people focus on what they can control. They don't worry about the things they can't. A world full of distractions, uncertainty, and noise. This is a powerful habit. When you focus on what you can control, you become unstoppable. When you can't control a situation, you change your attitude towards it. Instead of complaining, you accept it. You let it go. Successful people understand this. They know that trying to control everything leads to stress, anxiety, and burnout. Instead, they focus on their circle of control, double down on what they can influence, and they let go of everything else. This gives them the clarity and the freedom to pursue their goals without being distracted by the chaos around them. They are not fazed by criticism or negativity because they know that they can uncontrol other people's opinions. Instead, they focus on what they can control. Their actions, their effort, their results. That's how they get ahead. Here's the second habit. Successful people make time for the important things in life. They don't wait for time to align. They create it. They know that time is not a luxury. It's a resource that needs to be managed. And so they do it intentionally. They block out time in their schedule for the most important things in their life, whether it's spending time with family, working on their side hustle, or taking care of their health. They make it a priority. Now, I know that sometimes life gets in the way and things happen, but successful people don't make excuses. They don't say things like, I don't have time or I'm too busy. Instead, they say, how can I make this work? How can I prioritize this? Because they know that if they don't make time for the important things in their life, those things won't get done. And that's not an option for them. They're not willing to sacrifice their dreams for the sake of comfort or convenience. They know that success requires sacrifice, so they're willing to make it. Here's the third habit. Successful people are disciplined with their time. They don't waste it on meaningless activities. They know that time is precious, and they treat it that way. So instead of wasting their time watching TV or scrolling through social media, they invested in activities that move them closer to their goals. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't ever watch TV or use social media. Of course you should. Life is not about sacrifice. It's about balance. But successful people know that every minute they spend on social media is a minute they could have spent working on their business. Every hour they spend watching TV is an hour they could have spent learning a new skill, so they invest their time wisely. They make sure that every minute counts. They're redisciplined with their time because they know that it's the one thing they couldn't get back. Here's the fourth habit. Successful people have a strong work ethic. They're not afraid of hard work. They know that success is not a destination, it's a journey. And that journey is paved with hard work and sacrifice. They don't take shortcuts or make excuses. They just put their head down and get to work. They know that hard work is the only way to achieve their dreams. They're not afraid of getting their hands dirty. They're not afraid of failing. They just keep pushing forward. Here's the fifth habit. Successful people don't give up easily. They're resilient. They know that success is not a straight line. It's a roller coaster ride full of ups and downs. When they face obstacles, they don't complain. They don't make excuses. They don't give up. Instead, they problem solve. They find a way to make it work because they know that giving up is not an option. They have too much to lose. They have too much to gain. And so they push through the pain. They push through the discomfort because they know that on the other side of that struggle is success. I hope this was helpful. If you're ambitious but lazy, I want you to remember that you're not a failure. You're just stuck in the middle. You want a big life, but your habits don't match your dreams. That's okay, because awareness is the first step. Laziness isn't always about being unwilling. It's often about being overwhelmed. You see the mountain and forget that it starts with one step. Your ambition is a gift, but it needs your help. Action doesn't come from motivation. It comes from systems. Start small. Be consistent. Progress will come, not with passion, but with discipline. You're not lazy. You're scared, distracted, maybe tired, but you are still capable. Start now, quietly, slowly, but start.